Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird, wonderful world. Stick around till the end for like a 1 minute little update about what's going on tonight. But I really want to get into the main subject right away. That last night I went to a nice little show. It was at the Aberdeen Cultural Center off of St. George Street. It's really like walking distance from here. And so we went there to go and watch a couple of a couple of shows, right? The first I'll talk about the mainliner in a moment, but the opening act, of course, it was Mike Trask, and this episode, this little video, is mostly about the local talent and how it is grow now. My collection of local talent is growing. So last night the opening act was Mike Trask, and he was good. I'm going to leave a couple of links to his videos down below off of YouTube. You can go and check that out. Look into like he was launching his new album, which is called Beat, Beet, just like the little vegetable, the vegetable or whatever you want to call it. It might not be exactly classified as vegetable, but a beet. The front cover has a cool painting of two beets on a black background. And when you look at the cover and the back cover, you don't expect it to be a hard rock and band, and you'll see by the examples I pinned down to the comments below that they're really a rock and band. But last night I went with my good friends Robert Cormier and Francine McClure, which are a major, of course, Francine McClure, who did this. I have sent a copy of this album, which is called La Ballade de Jean Mount. It's 20 minutes long. It's 6 songs. It's a French Acadian. There is 2 English tracks on there, okay? And so Robert, and Francine McClure. Francine McClure, you see on the bottom there, which is uh, which is this lovely lady. She's in her 70s. Okay, she's in her like mid 70s, and she's still rocking pretty good. Her voice still sounds pretty, pretty good for her age and everything. I really enjoy this album. Um, Tonight, there when we go on live, I will be bringing this album up just very briefly, asking Larry his opinion on that, and a couple of other things there, of course. But yeah, so you might every once in a while see this name pop up in my comments below. That would be Robert. Okay, that would be my good friend Robert Cormier. That's not his name, and that is not Raina Robichaud. That was somebody else's account that he kind of took over. You could say so. So yeah, I want to say thank you to Robert for getting the tickets for me and bringing me along with you guys. I love the local talent, but also just want to there Mike Trask, who was opening up for the next band that I'm about to show you, the headliner there, also produced this album. Yeah, produced this album, and in the band you see there's Matt Gallant on, and it's in French. It's à la batterie, which is French for the drums. Okay, on the drums. He was drumming last night for Mike Trask, and oh yeah, it was nice and loud and very good. They rock. They rock. Mike Trask. It was a power trio basically. There was another guy playing bass that was a younger guy, but he killed it too. He was fantastic. So yeah, Mike Trask produced this album. Just want to let you know. But everything is in English, so it's 100% in English. Like I said, I will leave just a couple, maybe two of his videos, the ones I really kind of like that I checked out down below, so guys can check that out. I'm sure you now. I would have bought his album. I would have bought and beat, but it was an LP only. I couldn't. There was no CD for it, so it was like, okay. So that's that for that. But also, but yeah, there's so okay. Before before I get into the main headlining band that we went to go see, and I bought two of their CDs. Mike Trask also produced one of these CDs. Okay, so there, and it's the heavier one of the two. So I'll get to that. But when it comes to local bands that I'm really into, there's the Monoxide, and I only have their Galaxy of Stooges albums. There's a couple more albums from them I do need to get, right. But I grew up with Derek Robichaud. He lived down the block from pretty much down the street from where I was living on Ryan Road, and he had an awesome huge Saint Bernard. I'm still kind of in contact with him on Facebook. If I really want to contact him on Facebook and that, and when he's ever in Moncton and wants to hang out, I would like to set that up one day. I haven't seen him since my teenage years, but I'm a big fan of Derek Robichaud and the Monoxides and their music, and pretty happy with this album. I really do like it, and if you haven't heard it before, go check it out. I'm sure you can find stuff or around your usual places that you get your music. Um, Again, thanks to Francine McClure and Robert Cormier. They got me into the wonderful band of a great balancing act. I got three of their albums plus a cassette tape, which I really love. I'm so stoked to have all this stuff. Also, Larry Graves has a copy of this album, so I know he enjoys it. Uh, but yeah, if you've seen his video there recently, where he talks about consolidating his CDs and getting rid of some, yeah, I completely understand. I do completely understand. There's other stuff there. I think he really should give it a little bit more of a chance, you know. But some of his other stuff that he was mentioning, and we'll probably talk about that a tiny bit on his channel too. Um, I'll give you my thoughts about about that on his channel when we go live. But also thanks to the connection with the Great Balancing Act and going to uh, Patamush up in Kapolei here in New Brunswick and seeing these bands play live and stuff. That's Nogavich. So I have quite a bit of of local stuff right now. So I like and this is only within the last year or so. Only within the last year or so that I picked up so much of the local talent, and I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. So not only did Mike Trask blow me away last night with that show, okay. So my two new additions to that collection of local bands would be now the band I showed in the thumbnail, Les Moontunes. Okay, yes, I don't let the name fool you. It's French, okay. The name is French, but everything in here is English. It's English, okay. The whole album. Intro, Paper Boat, Jam on 7, which is a slight nod to the French in there, but it's not French. All I see is blue. Right the gunk. Yeah, I think that's what it says. Right the gunk. That's song number 5. Song number 6, Walking Down Part 1. Song 7, Walking Down Part 2. Song number 8, Walking Down Part 3. Icy Delight. Bouge. It's a French. Yeah, if that's the only real French title there. Bouge in French means to move. Bouge, move. You move. Bouge. You know. And then the number 11, last song is called Colors. So I'm pretty sure this was their newer album, okay? And but I also got their previous album. I had bought that first, like pretty much before they started, and then right at the end of the show, I went and bought that instead. I could not buy both albums. They were $15 each. It supports the band because the band is right there selling it themselves. I'm getting it right directly from the band members. So yeah. So I believe this album, which is called Elephant Wizard. Yeah, Elephant Wizard. They played the last song, which is called Dorian Sunrise, which is really awesome. This one here is produced by Mike Trask. This is a couple years older. This is 2020. This is 2023, and I believe it doesn't say on here. Not that I can see on the cover, but I believe this is the 2025 one. I think this is the later one. So I'll be opening it right now, so you can check that out with me. Oh, I got my exactor right here. So yeah, um, what's on this is basically the first song. It's called Elephant Wizard. Song two is Thinterlude. Get it? Part one. Enchanted Tushes. That's song number three. Song number four, Fallen for You. Song five, it's yeah, Sphinterlude. I keep wanting to say Slither because it looks like that, but it's Sphinterlude number two. Midnight Magic, um, Gallop in the Jungle, uh, I believe that's number, Sphinterlude number three. Yeah, Sphinterlude number three. Wizard Universe, Beyond the Mountain, which I think they played last night, which was awesome. Finsterlude, four, yeah, one, two, three, four, and then there's Planet Metal, and then another Finsterlude Part Five, and then the last song, Dorian Sunrise. So there's 14 songs altogether. Yeah, so I'm actually really hyped on listening to this because yeah, they played most of this stuff last night. It sounded awesome. Can't describe it. I know Scott Lade from the Prague Corner. You are going to love this band. You're gonna love this band. You would give. I'm sure you would give this a top review because they're really experimental. I hear a lot of prog elements in them. They're very prog. They have a they have a certain vibe that reminds me a little bit like because it's a seven-piece band. They have that vibe of being kind of like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, but it's much more old school prog kind of almost jazz fusion somewhat. But they have these moments where they rock hard, and it's really like it's actually really good. It's like I had to get them both. So I don't know if they have any more albums than this, but yeah, I'm pretty stoked. Oh, let's open it. Let's open it. Let's go with Elephant Wizard, which I think is the first album. Not saying that that's probably their first album. And oh, it does open up. That's cool. I wasn't. I was. It didn't look like it was going to open up, but yeah, it does open. So there's some liner notes of who's who in the band, what they do, and producer Mike Trask. Drums, yeah, and there's some extra people. Made in New Brunswick. There's right there. It's Maritime Made. So it has a nice little sticker on there uh, with the music, NB Music, yeah. So even on that side here, there's that little symbol there. That's really cool. Let's see the CD, what the label kind of looks like on that. There we go. Les Moontunes, Elephant Wizard. Gotta give it that little bit of a French accent because they're French guys. They were speaking French during their little interludes there and stuff. But I'm stoked on listening to that. That's pretty cool. Now I want to check out what's. It feels heavier. This one feels heavier because it's a bit of a hybrid, the hybrid jewel cases as I call them. You, you know, it's my kind of most preferred packaging. You know, because I find it's the best of both worlds. It's not quite that. It's not quite jewel case, but it is in between. So now that I opened it up, ooh, I like the look of that. Okay, there's a book with this one. It had, so that it shows a rocket. Oh, there's the band. They were wearing those uniforms, those costumes. Yeah, that's the guys there. Except that black guy wasn't there. There was another guy instead. But so there. Oh, and there is eight. So they were missing the black guy. The black guy wasn't there. But I'm sure he's awesome too. But the band was really awesome. They're pretty damn tight and they know their stuff. It's two drummers. Very much like a King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard, old school with two drummers. And they had a drum battle at the end of the show, right at the end, just before we just before we end up leaving. They played this cover song. What was it? Did they play? It wasn't. I wasn't. We weren't really interested in that, but we're way more interested in the live stuff. So yeah. Okay, that's it. Pretty much. I show you that. Yeah, that's the other side. Some liner notes and all that cool stuff there. So a couple of animated people under the saucer there. So yeah, I like that. I like that. I'm looking forward to listening to it. Really cool label on the CD itself. You gotta see what's underneath. Oh, there's a planet there. That's nice. That's nice. Cool, cool. So yeah, two new additions to my local bands, and they're awesome. Again, Scott Scott Lade. I highly recommend you check these out. Yeah, yeah, so definitely. I'm sure you can find it on you can probably find it on Bandcamp or Spotify, maybe, you know. So I hope. So, yep, everybody, stay tuned for again. Join me later when I'm live with Larry Graves. Be here when I do my last chip challenge. I could die after that, so that could be my last episode. No, I'm sure I can handle it. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. Um, yeah, I have a towel ready, for that. No, it's not that towel. It's this towel. Yeah, I have a sweat towel whew, just specifically for that. I had another one, but it's kind of old and ratty, and it has to get thrown out. I actually bought a couple of new bath towels this weekend, but this one is my sweat towel. It's clean and ready for use. All right, so I'm not going to need that now. That's later tonight at 7 p.m. Atlantic Daylight Time. Okay, I'm done. Everybody, please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side and tonight and everything. So I'm not going anywhere. Just meet me up there later. You know everything what to do, everything I said before. Have a great day, evening, morning, night, afternoon, wherever you may be, everybody. Peace.